But like, we gonna get into the real when y'all come up over here, man. So put your big boy pants on when you come over here, folks. For real. Put your big boy pants on and we gonna get it to it straight like that, folks. But definitely hit that like button for the boy if you here for a good time, not a long time. You ain't here to stay. Hit that like button, man.
Value Christ over your life. Look, please, please, please buy in. Those with the ears to hear, those who are the lost sheep are those who God, you might be in the world now, you might be listening and you might be following Lil Durk and these people now, but you are God's sheep, and God said, my sheep know my voice. So I know it's going to be a lot of people. First and foremost, I got a scripture that I want to read, and I'm hoping that y'all can like the video, share the video, please comment on the video to help the algorithm, man. We are out here. I'm out here trying to do the best that I can to gather up some of God's sheep. So if you have your salvation intact, now, what do we do when we get our salvation intact? We get out and we spread the gospel. We get out and we help God win over souls with the word of God. So if you are a child of God who knows who their salvation is, who knows where their rock of their foundation is, then please help me push the video. Please help me some way, somehow. Just try to go and be a fisherman of men, you know? A fisherman of men. You might just share the video. I might be the one speaking in the video, but we all work together. God said that the head don't look to the feet and say that they don't need it. If you are a part of the body of Christ like I am, we need to operate together because the body is better when it works together. Because if the body ain't working together, then how a kingdom divided against itself, how can we stand? So anyway, I wanted to read something. 1 Samuel 17:28. And before we get into it, I just kind of want to say that this, what I'm about to read, is about David and Goliath. The world pretty much has us seeing that David and Goliath story from a fleshly standpoint, thinking that, oh, David prevailed over Goliath because he was just so great. When that's just how this world is. They take things of the Bible. We all heard about the story of David and Goliath. I did not know that it was a biblical story, but now being in the book, I understand. I see, not just I understand, but I see, but I also understand why Satan does what he does. He likes to desensitize us to the things that are in the Bible. So when you get in the book and you see something that was in the world, but you don't see it from the way that you saw it in the world, it's going to be kind of, you won't understand it. But anyway, David was getting ready. He fought Goliath for who? He fought Goliath for the people, you know. And I'm looking at this situation with Lil Durk and these rappers. It's like a Goliath to us because most people are scared to speak against it. Most people are, and they won't say that they ain't scared, but most people don't have the knowledge to properly speak against it. And so some people just sit in the gray area. And you know what's crazy about the name Goliath? That's kind of like what its names mean, in the middle ground. You know, kind of like with God, lukewarm. Just because you ain't going to do nothing good, you ain't going to do nothing bad. But you can see somebody walking right to their death, which is walking in this world, walking to the customs of this world. And you won't say much because you're in the middle ground. You're like, oh, I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that. That's what Goliath mean. Look up the name Goliath and see how it's just kind of mean to be in the middle. And so again, when Goliath was out there all big, all scary, nobody wanted to fight him but David, a youth. I don't know how old he was, but he was young. He was younger than most men who was out there. All the other men, they were scared to get up and fight that battle. Like I'm doing now, this rap battle is Goliath. But I want to read something to y'all real quick. 17:28, 1 Samuel 17:28. It says, I'm going to start at 28. Oh, yeah, I said 27. But anyways, now Eliab, his older brother, heard when he spoke to the men. And Eliab's anger was aroused against David. And he said, why did you come down here? And with whom have you left those few sheep in the wilderness? He ain't worried about the men of God that David is out there. That Goliath is out there trying to kill and that he's tempting. But he's sitting here worried about them sheep that David might have been with. He like, who did you leave with those sheep? See, man, we always caught up on the fleshly things that's going to actually benefit the flesh. But what his brother was doing was operating in the spiritual man. But anyways, it says, I know your pride and the insolence of your heart, for you have come down to see the battle. And David said, what have I done now? Is there not a cause? And so when he said, is there not a cause? And his brother was pretty much signaling him out, angry at him because David was saying, I'll fight. And his brother like, man, what you even come down here for? The insolence of your heart. He basically said, man, I know how, because like David had one of those hearts where he was a fighter. You know, if you look up the word insolence, it'll give you a better understanding of it. But some of us, that's like me. I'm a fighter. Like I got that fight in my heart. You feel me? But so look, when he said, is it not a cause? He was saying for the people that he was fighting for. Those were God's people. Goliath was out there talking to God's people. What y'all gonna do? Goliath served another God. Lil Durk served another God. This rap stuff, all of it it's a Goliath. And so, and I'm coming and I'm fighting for God's lost sheep. Is it not a cause that I get out here and shine light on darkness with the hopes that one of y'all will actually go and seek the spiritual things from God to actually see and to actually then become a part of the war? Because if you're not a part of the war fighting with God, then you automatically have to know if you're not fighting with him, then you're the enemy. And so one thing I want to read after this is that, after I got that bedded down to y'all, so I'm fighting for this, not for your flesh. I'm not fighting for your flesh. The flesh is the thing that lusts against God. Y'all got it right. God said your flesh lusts against your spirit and your spirit lusts against your flesh, so that and these two are contrary to the one to the other, so that you will not do what you desire to do. If you desire to make it into heaven, then you're going to have to do some spiritual work. If you desire to get rich in this world, where if your worldly riches is in this world, then just walk with the world. Walk with the world. But if you desire to make heaven your home, you're going to have to get spiritual. Why am I saying this? Because 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 14 through 16 is what I'm going to read. Please listen and hear me. It says, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God. That's true understanding. That's true wisdom. It's saying your flesh will not receive those things. That's why you get in the book without the Spirit of God. You're going to look at these words. It's not going to make no sense. You like these stories? Like, it's stupid. You're going to call it a fairy tale. But let's see. God already understands that. And let's see what he says. He says, but the natural man receiveth not the Spirit of God, the things of the Spirit of God. So God's Spirit, the Spirit of God, it has things attached to it. Understanding, like I've already said. But anyways, it says, for they are foolishness unto him. These things of God are foolishness to the natural man. It says, neither can he know them because they are spiritually discerned. So they are spiritually understood. The things of God are spiritually understood. You can't think that you know God. You can't think that you understand God. You can't think that you know what's going on. You can't think that you understand what's going on unless you got your spiritual eyes open. This is what God is saying. Many people operate in the flesh and they might have the gift of gab where they can talk like they know what's truly going on. But many people going to talk from a worldly standpoint, a world view that has absolutely nothing to do with the wisdom of God. The worldly wisdom is not wisdom from God. Again, anyways, it says, I'm going to read it all through. But the natural man receiveth not the Spirit, the things of the Spirit of God. For they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. But he that is spiritual, the Spirit, judges all things. Yet he himself is judged of no man. For who hath the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Christ. You know what it says? Who have the mind of the Lord, that you may instruct him? The Lord he know your mind because he created it, so he can tell you what to stay away from. He can tell you things to instruct you, but we don't have the mind of God that we can tell God what to do. You don't know what God's thinking. We don't even know how he created us. So how can we, without having his mind, think that we know the way to get into heaven? Without having his eyes, think that we can see the way into heaven. Like, just think about that, man. Who has the mind of the Lord that they may instruct him on what's good, what's right, what's wrong? But that's what people try to do every day when they hear the Bible. They speak a worldly nose and they speak a worldly viewpoint about something because they don't understand these spiritual things. To understand these spiritual things, you're going to have to know that you have two nations. The lust of the flesh, which is the flesh. That's the first nation, the flesh. And then the spirit. They lust against each other, and those things are contrary one to the other, so that you will not do what you desire to do, y'all. I hope that this is kind of making way to somebody, man. You are the cause. Again, you might not understand that you are the cause of what I'm doing behind my work, because what I'm doing is spiritual. I'm fighting in the spiritual warfare right now with this video. Look in the comments of my videos about Lil Durk, and you can see whose spiritual eyes are open and who's not. So to the topic of the day, Lil Durk made a video. He went live on his Instagram, right? Because this is really what I brought y'all in to do, talk about. He went live, but before he went live to show and to basically get y'all hearts. That's all they do, is they work on y'all heart. They play on y'all heart. But before he went live and gave a dude who was singing his song, see, look, he sung his song and then he gave him money. This is how the enemy works. If you'll bow down to me, Satan told Jesus that if you will bow down to me, I will give you this. If dude sung Lil Durk's song, which literally he don't even understand the frequencies behind this song. He don't even understand the frequencies or the spiritual agenda behind Lil Durk. So, but after he did that, what the enemy do? He'll pay you to being on his side. But anyways, man, he glorified the whole, well, not glorified, but he basically promoted it. He and somebody pretty much, my homie reached out to me and he told me, because he thought that it was funny, because he thought that it stemmed from my video talking about the $50 and the jeans and the pants, and everybody gonna laugh at me and talk about me when I ain't asking for anything. Von did, but they gonna call me broke, and yeah, I am broke at the end of the day. Hey, I'm not, my church is not here right now. Yeah, we all see, the difference between me is that, like, and the difference between y'all is that y'all just as broke as I am, but I'm spiritually rich. So I can admit that I'm broke physically a lot of the times, because I'm spiritually rich enough in another place that I don't care about how y'all see me in this world. But anyways, Matthew 6, 1-4. Let's just talk about giving real quick, because in this world, we always do things the way that they do things. That's why Satan needs idols, man, because he know people will look to them as to what to live like, as to what's right, what's wrong. But I'm telling you, these people are a snare. Their life is an agenda for you to be swallowed whole. And for what Satan, he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Kill your love, your desire for God. Steal your love, your desire for God. Destroy your love, your desire for God, so that you can't see what's going on in the world. He want to kill you before you get to know God. You feel me? And if you got any understanding about God, then he's coming to tempt you to see, do you really have faith? He's coming to crush your faith. He's coming to crush your faith. But anyways, let's read Matthew 6. Then we're going to read 1-4. It says, and this is about giving. Watch out. It says, don't do your good deeds publicly to be admired by others. For you will lose the reward from your Father in heaven. When you give to someone in need, don't do as the hypocrites do. What they do? He finna tell us. Blowing trumpets in the synagogues and streets to call attention to their acts of charity. I tell you the truth. They have received all the reward they will ever get. What's the reward? The people seeing them, appraising them, looking at them and honoring them, rather than seeing God. You feel me? But when this is just the people without the spiritual eyes, they look at them and they go, man, he did this. It's just deceit, man. And that's going to be their reward. The appraisal of man is your reward. But then it says, let's read on. It says, but he said, I tell you the truth. They have received their reward. He said, all the reward that they will ever get. But when you give to someone in need, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Give your gifts in private, and your Father who sees everything will reward you. Simple as day, man. Simple as day. That's the part that I pretty much wanted to bring y'all here for, man. And we don't give the way that they give. We don't do things for the appraisal of men. That's spiritual. But everything that these rappers and these idols do in this world is to grab y'all in to steal your reward from the Father in heaven. That's all they want to do. Steal, kill, destroy. Again, destroy your reward from the Father in heaven. kill, any. Come on, this lifestyle is a snare. This lifestyle is a trap. These idols, Lil Durk and these rappers, I'm telling y'all, they are literally minions. They're puppets. He's using them as puppets, and not just them, the people that follow them. He's using them to get to y'all. Value Christ over your life. I hope that this is something that, man, y'all can meditate on a few of the scriptures, man. Open the book up on your own, because that's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get the lost sheep to see that these dudes are tares. They being used like tares, or they deceived. We got to pray for them. We got to love on them. And we got to continue to push the word of God over everything else. I'm pushing truth. I'm pushing love. I'm pushing understanding. And God is all of those things. So I pray, I hope that y'all will actually start to strengthen y'all sword that is of God, because he said the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Many people are fighting in the spiritual war with no weapon. They don't even know that they fighting in a spiritual war, because they fighting fleshly. Spirit and flesh. Lust of the flesh and the spirit has different things that it wants. Please go and take it. You owe it to yourself to understand who God is. You owe it to yourself. Value Christ over your life.